Now, you've represented high profile clients, acted as project counsel on this $1 billion convention center renovation and expansion, also negotiated a $300 million contract on behalf of an airline to expand terminal at the Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. How can leaders prioritize inclusivity? What are the key focus points here?
Well, on all of those projects that I worked on, I was referred by people who know me, right? People who knew my work and people who really took a chance on me. Um, so I think, when we talk about wanting to expand and give opportunities to women or minorities, people of color in an industry that lags behind, just legal is also an industry that is attempting to make strides and diversify. Law firms spend an enormous amount of money, an enormous amount of resources talking about diversity and exploring diverse initiatives. When you want to, in order for women and minorities to have an opportunity to work on some of these projects like I have worked on, somebody has to really give you a chance.
Yeah.
We are all competent. We are just as competent, probably even sometimes more competent than our counterparts. And
Right.
it's just really for someone to take a chance on you. And once you get the opportunity as the individual to run and prove that you deserve a place at the table just as anyone else.
And so, what are then the key focus points for leaders?
In terms of attempting to diversify, is
Right,
that
and used to prioritize inclusivity.
I think this, the key points that I always talk about when I talk about diversity and inclusion, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and making decisions of how you're going to diversify the ranks of your company as a leader. I always say that diversity, when we talk about this concept, um, you know, uh, people are afraid to be intentional,
Hmm.
right? I recently had this conversation with another attorney um, uh, during a conference. We were at a conference and we work on some diverse initiatives for this particular group. And, I was concerned about um, the diversity of the folks it's a legal group. And I was concerned about the diversity of the people who had an opportunity to pursue a particular fellowship within this group. Um, and I said to the group that was making the decision, I said, we have to be intentional when we make decisions of diversity. If you have a group of people who
Mhm.
are applying for a position
Mhm.
and you want to have people that are on your board or that are in your organization that reflects the community that you're serving, or that you want it to reflect your diverse initiatives. You want to include more African Americans, you want to include more Latinos, you want to include more women, then you have to be intentional about how you select. It cannot just be, well, we're going to select the person that looks the greatest on paper,
Right.
right? Because oftentimes the minority attorney or the minority who's coming to your organization doesn't have the resources to look the best on paper, whereas somebody from a different group that's competing um, for the same position may have more resources available to them. So when we talk about diversity and inclusion and making decisions as leaders, you have to look at, it's not just a check the box. Obviously we want the best and the brightest. Everyone wants to work with the best and the brightest, and the best and the brightest are in every diverse category.
Mhm.
We're women, um, African Americans, Latinos. They're the best and the brightest that are out there. All they need is the opportunity to be
Right.
seen and the opportunity to take a chance. Somebody take a chance on them. So you have to be really intentional. I would say when I make decisions based upon who am I going to choose for a diverse position, then I take a look at somebody from each group that is applying, whether it's an African American woman, a white woman, a Latino woman. I try to make sure that I'm looking at everyone, not
Mhm.
just not just a ranking of folks who look good on paper.